Right. It looks fairly strong. I recognise motion.
Should have it. Just let Charlie keep fighting Ryan and Siren swap out.
Ryan or him? Is it actually charging?
Okay, Jack, I'll we'll go ahead live, but I'll handle the first bits. Well, hello everybody, welcome back. If you joined us a little bit earlier, you saw an absolute classic between the NEM Hawks taking on Liverpool. It was a game to remember. Scoreline in the end, it was NEM Hawks 28, Liverpool 21, but it wasn't really until the last 5 minutes that the game was settled by the Hawks. It was an absolute blinder, but now, of course, I'm delighted to say we've got for you the NEM Hawks versus Liverpool again, but it's in the Women's Premier League this time, and this one also promises to be an absolute cracker. Don't forget, just like in the men's game, if you tuned in to watch that one, keep your comments coming in. We can see them, we can show them on screen as well. If you head over to Live Sport Now on YouTube, there's a link in the body of this broadcast. Give it a click. Please do hit subscribe as well. It really does help us. I know it sounds almost like we're pleading, but we are a little bit. It helps us bring you even more live handball throughout the course of the season. Delighted to say we're going to bring you a total of 18 games in the men's and women's Premier Handball League this year. This is game number 4 we're about to bring you now. As you can see, NEM Hawks taking on Liverpool in Women's Premier Handball League. A few comments coming in already. Let's just put those on screen, shall we? Rosa says good luck to both teams, and our good friend Mr. Meter Chunks is back for this one as well. Come on, the Greenbank girls supporting Liverpool there. Keep your comments coming in, get them in. We can see them now. Before we get this game underway, let's just take a quick look at how things look at the top of the table, because this is a top of the table clash. As you can see, Liverpool leading the way. 3 games played, 3 wins so far this season. I did have my little bit of... Oh, you've got them there. Fantastic. NEM Hawks, of course, second in the table. Thank you so much, Jack. I'll take you that. So Liverpool's season so far has looked like this. A win over Trafford, 27-22 in our opening game. Then an away trip to Nottingham saw them pick up a win, 26-18. They won that one. And in last time out, a 22-16 win over Birmingham. That's their 3 wins. Hence the reason the top of the table for the NEM Hawks women. First game of the season, they beat Birmingham 35-25. And they also have so far succeeded against Trafford here, 32-15. So it's, I'm delighted. I'm joined by Jack Orford's back with me as well. And Jack, both teams unbeaten this season, 100% win rates for both. It could go here. Well, it's going to go for one of them at least. It could go for both of them if we have a draw.
Well, yeah, those are the options, I suppose. But yeah, I think I've been chatting to a few of the people, chatting to Donna while I was waiting for my lunch, which is what I was eating whilst Ian was doing that lovely introduction. And they've had quite a few of their players, unfortunately, sort of move on. Not for any unfortunate circumstances. I think Lydia Edgar's moved off to Australia to be a physio over there, which is fantastic for her. Bit of a show. I was looking forward to seeing Lydia actually, with a university mate, as Becky Barnes comes over and picks the ball up. She's ignored me. How rude.
Oh, you could have got away with that.
I know, yeah, it could have been. But no, well. And then I think they had a woman called Ophelia, potentially, who has gone to Denmark for a couple of years, I imagine, to play handball, as they have a close connection with the Aarhus College over there. Handball in England has always had. We always do sort of coaching and sort of training camps over there. So I imagine a lot of people have gone over there, including quite a few of the people that we saw in the men's game early on, actually. So yeah, they've got a slightly lighter squad. The women from Liverpool, I don't know all that much about. There's a few names in there that I sort of know, but equally they're a bit of an unknown entity for me. But they are top of the table. There's definitely not to be underestimated.
Yeah, well, look, let's take a look at that. You've laid this me nicely in there. Actually, we are 7 minutes away from here for this Women's Northern Premier Handball League match. Let's take a quick look at the squads. Since I've done this, there has been a couple of changes, by the way. So here's the NEM Hawks squad. Number 1, Natalie Pearl. 23, Sarah Carrick. 13, Emily Madison. 9, Beth Wilbraham. 2, Sophie Unsworth. 12, Paige Schofield. 16, Ella Dibden. 69, Becky Barnes. We just saw there, giving you the blank there, Jack. Number 5, Ellie Whitehead. Now, I believe actually Ellie's not here, so Ellie Whitehead will not be playing today. 31, Elizabeth Jennings. 4, Eliza Morgan. 28, Jacqueline Zamkovi. Is that right? The slight changes. Eliza is actually going to be number 3, so Eliza Morgan's going to be number 3, and no Ellie Whitehead. So that's your squad for the NEM Hawks. Let's take a look at the Liverpool squad, shall we? Number 1 is Hannah Kempster. Number 2, Alice Pankojeka. Is that right? Yeah, I said that right. Apologies, by the way. I'm absolutely going to butcher your name, so I'm really, really sorry. Number 3 is Krista Jakoviva. We'll go with that. Number 5 is Daniela Trimis. 8 is Babette Nagy. 12 is Kaya Wachowska. We'll go with that. 16 is Jessica Krause. 17, Emily Daly. 19, Julie Hansen. 28, Marta Tabaka. And 22, Hannah Tsukauto. And we've got Amy Danaher. I don't have a number for Amy. She's number 6. I can confirm Amy is number 6. So that's your squad for Liverpool. Apologies for getting the names absolutely horrifically wrong there. But as we said, do keep your comments coming in. If this is anything like the men's game, boy oh boy, Jack, are we in for a fine afternoon's handball action.
Well, yeah, I mean, in theory, like we've mentioned many a time in the build-up of anything, actually, on paper, it looks like it should be a little bit closer. I was speaking to James Higgins as we were about to go live, and he said that the Hawks team, although they've lost a fair few of their starting players, they've still got a good, strong squad out here today. Eliza Morgan, apparently, this is a bit of a rarity that she's out here. She's a very strong player, but normally coaches netball on the weekends, so the fact that she's here and available today is a big plus point for Manchester Hawks. And there are a number of players, a lot like what we saw in the men's game from their team, or their club. A lot of them have been around for a long time, since basically the start of Hawks. So, yeah, the likes of... Unfortunately, I know them by nicknames, and I'm going to add... So it's a bit weird.
Please tell us a nickname.
No, they're not bad nicknames.
Just as long as it's clean, it's not
it's
9 o'clock yet.
But yeah, no, a lot of them I just know from nicknames, like Emily Madison. We all know her as Ginge, but it's got to be Emily Madison on the stream, hasn't it? So it's going to be a bit confusing. But yeah, she's been around for a long time. Played when I was in the England setups and on the scenes, she was as well. Becky Barnes was, Sophie Unsworth was, Eliza Morgan was. So yeah, plenty of people that are sort of recognise, and a lot like the men's games will be sort of older heads in there, hopefully to bring some experience, some calmness to the game. But to be fair, we didn't see much calmness in the men's game, did we? Can't expect it here.
No, we certainly didn't. We are at Oldham Leisure Centre here for the home of North East Manchester Hawks, and as you can see at the far side of the court, the players just now starting to take a final fluids on board. Last instructions from the coaches. And it's Donna again, isn't it, for North East Manchester? She's been a busy lady today. We heard from her, didn't we, at the end of the men's game? I actually couldn't hear it, Jack, because I didn't have the audio plugged in. But how was Donna feeling after the men's game?
Yeah, she was feeling confident. She never thought it was in doubt, which I have to say I'm not entirely sure I agree with her on it. But it's the sign of the confidence of the champions, I suppose, that they always thought they were going to battle through. And to be fair, she was proven right. So. I asked her as well, you probably didn't hear, but I asked her if she feels like there's a target on her back. Not her specifically, but Manchester Hawks as a whole. And she said, to be honest, it doesn't really feel like that much different to usual. She feels like they've always had a bit of a target on their backs because they've always been such an unpleasant team to play against. Not because they're unpleasant people, but because they do play the sort of handball.
Careful there.
Yeah, they do play the sort of handball that no one really looks forward to playing against. Very fast in transitions, very aggressive. You'll probably notice that the women's play in a very similar manner to the men's. They sort of, because they have the same coach, they have the same ethos. And Donna's been there, as I said, since day dot of the Manchester Handball Club. So, no, not Manchester Handball Club, can't say that. North East Manchester Hawks, I should say. So yeah, brilliant person to have around the club and in handball as a whole.
It's quite a hotbed around here, isn't it? You've got Liverpool and not far away. You've got North East Manchester. You've got Trafford. There's a lot, actually, isn't it? It's quite a good place to come play your handball.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Northwest back when I first started was actually the main. There was a little bit in London because there was Rice Slippers over there, which was West London Eagles, and there was Great Dane, which is now London GD, and a few other clubs like that. But Olympia were around. But really, the majority of the handball were played up at the Northwest. As you said, we had Salford back then, which turned into Warrington Wolves, we had Manchester Hawks, Diva, even Tarpley. I think at one point statistically, with the most amount of people playing handball for a club was a club called Tarpley, which is where I started, and that's because we were a high school. It was like the first sport in the high school. Garrett Kelson did a fantastic job. So yeah, really, I mean, now there's Shropshire, which is arguably, in my opinion, Northwest. Trafford, like you mentioned, loads of great teams. And as these two Northwest giants come out, they clap the applause, take the applause in from the crowd, and then obviously do the customary high fives. We had the same referees as well that we had in the previous game. Can
I ask this is probably a silly question. You're more experienced in handball than I am. Referees have changed their jerseys. Is that just because they got a bit sweaty from the men's game and now they've decided to change them? Or is it a Premier League thing? The women's Premier Handball League referees have to wear yellow and in the men's they wear red? Or have I just made it up?
Pass. Annoyingly, pass. I've never once noticed that. It's probably because I never once paid attention to referees. No, I'm kidding, obviously. But yeah, no, I've never noticed
that. Says a lot, Jack.
Yeah, I've never noticed it. Couldn't tell you. I'm going to assume it's because they worked so hard in the men's game they had to swap because they were sweating.
And they did work hard as well. Remember, we just had your comments coming up on screen. Do comment away. We can see your comments. We want to hear from you. Things about to get underway here. North East Manchester Hawks taking on Liverpool. First half. Here we go. It's top versus second in the league. And we're about to get underway. The first half, 30 minutes of action. Here we go.
So Liverpool get us underway then, and customary high fives as well, even though they've just done it. It's always nice to do it as the game gets underway as well. Nice aggressive start by Liverpool, but a bit of a communication breakdown, or sort of maybe just a bit of rustiness. They have to wipe off the court.
Yeah, certainly. If you are just tuning in, hello, welcome, and welcome back. I know a lot of people have been commenting who watched the first game as well. Thank you very much. And it's Hawks who take an early lead in this game. 1-0 already with 40 seconds on the clock.
Yep, I didn't actually see who scored that, unfortunately, because I was looking down at my notes to see who was starting in which positions. Didn't see it. Well,
weren't expecting it so soon. If you are tuning in, Liverpool in green. We must say Hawks are in the black and should we say gold? It's almost eggy yolk colour, isn't it? So we'll go with gold. That
we'll go gold,
nicer, doesn't it?
Yeah. So we'll go gold. Gold for champions at the end of the day.
Well, talking of eggs, I had a nice fry up this morning at Stafford Services on the M6. So thank you very much to them. And so far, Hawks early doors, 2-0 already. Just over a minute on the clock, Jack.
Yeah, it's a good start by them. That was the number 23 of Sarah Carrick, scoring from the left wing position. Ooh.
Sarah Carrick, all right thinking. She was on the table for the men's game, actually, so she's had a busy afternoon.
Yeah, well, that's quite often what you see in handball, really. I mean, if you're part of a club, you're part of the whole club, you're not just part of your team. So it's nice to see them sort of mulling in and doing that voluntary work as we see the first bout, shall we say, between the battle, I should say, even between 28 for Liverpool. That's Marta Tobacco and Becky Barnes, number 69 for Hawks.
It is a physical game if you are just tuning in. And this is your first experience watching handball. First of all, welcome. Second of all, where have you been all the time? But hey, welcome, because it's a great time to come in and start watching handball. This is the Women's Premier Handball League at the minute. It is Liverpool top of the table with 3 wins from 3. North East Manchester second, but they've only played 2 and they've won both of those games. And at the minute, they're leading this one as well. So really, we're in for a cracking afternoon here, Jack.
Oh yeah, it should be very exciting indeed. But what I will say is these opening exchanges, Liverpool have thrown the ball away cheaply 3 times in a row. And they're going to really have to sort themselves out. If they've got any hope of beating this Hawks team, that's a good way to start. And that was the number 28, I've already mentioned it, it's Tobacco. Getting the first goal from that right-back position. Right-hander from right-back is always a bit of a tricky shot. But we saw it in the men's, it can happen. And we're seeing it in the women's here as well.
Exactly the same start as the men's, actually, was it? It's Hawks who managed to 2-0 lead, and then Liverpool actually pulled it back. It went 4 without reply. Can Liverpool replicate the men in the early stages? We're going to find out very shortly on. But it is Hawks with the ball, looking to make it a 3 game already. 3 minutes on the clock, looking for their 3rd goal, pushing forward.
Yeah, Sophie Unsworth in the centre there, trying to dictate the play, but unfortunately throwing a little bit too close to the Liverpool defenders, and again for the 4th time in less than 4 minutes, Liverpool have thrown the ball away.
Yeah, they have. It's a good opportunity for Hawks to put the hammer down early on in this game. It's amazing how quick the hour goes, isn't it? 30-minute halves. We have roughly sort of 10 minutes or so in the half-time. Don't go far. We've got a little half-time show for you. We're going to show you highlights of West London Eagles against London GD from last month. In that, we're going to run through the comments as well, so do keep them coming in. Table official in this game, Patrick Fleming over there. Now, can Hawks find a way through it? What a great shimmy that was.
Yeah, great step there from the right back for Hawks. And when she turns around, will be able to get you the number. And it was the number 12 of Paige Schofield. Yeah, fantastic step on the right. As I said, it's always difficult to be a right-hander on that right-back position because you're always sort of twisting the wrong way to get the shot off. But yeah, if you got steps like that, then there's no problem whatsoever. Liverpool with an opportunity on the right wing, not taking advantage of. They're having to move the ball. Really strong and aggressive direct runs by the number 2 of Alicia. I'm going to just call her Alicia, I think, rather than trying to butcher the name of it so often. I do apologise if anybody out there wants to spell it phonetically out on the YouTube chat, then it's always appreciated.
Yeah, please do help us out as well. Yeah, we do.
We don't mean to butcher the names, but we're not very good in England at pronouncing the
why can't it just be called
pronunciations?
Anne Smith or something?
Yeah, you know? Well, it's going to be a learning progress. There's a fantastic pass for Becky Barnes to Emily Madison, and a great goal to start that link-up play-off. Those two have been playing together for absolutely years, well on plus 10 years, and you can see that sort of communication and that understanding between them there.
Yeah, is North East Manchester Hawks taking on Liverpool in green, and have just pulled it back, and it's a one-score game, 4-3 in favour of the Hawks in these early stages. 5 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, Marta Tubaka there is certainly sort of dragging them forward a little bit, the Liverpool team, I would say, and making things happen even if they don't look like they're going to be look like they've got into the flow just yet, as Becky Barnes goes for the shot and gets defended well, and just trying to see who's actually the defender. Becky on that right back position, because it looks like it's going to be a good battle. I think it's number 2. Actually, it is Tubaka, actually, so they're lining up pretty much like for like, the right back marking the left back, and no switching around in defence.
Now, we spoke about it in the men's game. The crowd here, in fact, if anything, it's got even busier here, which is really nice to see. I think it might be raining outside. I haven't seen daylight since about 12 o'clock, so I'm not sure, but I think I can hear a bit of rain on the roof here. Good save, though, by the Liverpool keeper. Can Liverpool pull it back? They're on the break here. Can they get it to 4-4? They went 2-0 down early on, but they're right back in this one already. And it's going to be advantage Liverpool. They carry on, keep the ball moving forward nicely. Here we go. Can they make it 4-4? It's top, Liverpool top, 3 wins from 3. NEM Hawks second, 2 wins from 2. Someone's 100% record is probably going to go, well, it's definitely going to go for someone. If we have a draw, of course, and you can have draws in the Premier League, it does mean the unbeaten record will go, but the win record will go.
Yeah, it's, we've seen it when we were down in London, didn't we? Those sort of opportunities for the draw. Trying to force the pass to Emily Daly. That looked like a double dribble to me, but clearly not.
What a throw.
That is an unreal pass, and that's an even better bit of handling there.
I think that is probably goal of the day we've seen so far.
I may have been wrong with the double dribble. It's just a little bit of an instinctive thing, but really, really top draw, bit of handling, and the pass was very looped. There was a long time for the attacker to actually look at that. I think it was the 23 from Hawks of Sarah Carrick again. But yeah, lots of opportunity for that to get away from them.
Busy day here at Oldham. Earlier we brought you the men's Premier Handball League match between NEM Hawks and Liverpool. NEM Hawks winning that one 28-21. If you do want to find out more about the England Handball Association and the Men's and Women's Premier Handball League and regional leagues, there is a link in the body of this broadcast. It'll take you straight through to the England Handball's website. Do give it a click. If you are watching on YouTube over at Live Sport now, please do hit subscribe, comment as well. We can show your comments on the screen. At half time we'll run through them. If we get a bit of a break in play, we can show the comments too, so do keep commenting. We do appreciate you joining us. Oh my word, what a save that was, Jack.
Yeah, that was a great save, wasn't it? After a really good step by Sophie Unsworth, she had the goal at her mercy. But number 12 in goal for Liverpool, that's Kaya Wijowicz, I was going to say Kaya for the time being, really good save as well. Good defending by Liverpool as the ball gets turned over. We're starting to see the wick being turned a bit here.
Yeah, we are, aren't we? I'm very impressed with what I've seen so far from this game. I've seen skills, I've seen action. I think number 28 for Liverpool thought there might have been a bit of a wet patch on the floor, but no, they're going to carry on. Liverpool with the ball, looking to get it back. They trail by 2 in this game at the minute, but there's still a long way to go. 8.5 minutes or so on the clock. The ball turns over. NEM looking to play it quick. Back to that number 12 again. Oh my word, and she's made it count yet again.
Yeah, to be fair, it's Paige Schofield, and I think it was Paige before actually, because she's playing in that aggressive 5-1 defensive formation, so she's there to take advantage of all the fast breaks, and I think she was the same person who did it before actually. So yeah, Paige Schofield starting off really strong, and that's the thing. We've had a timeout now, so they've got 60 seconds, so we'll explain a little bit, because you're seeing 2 different defensive formations now, and if you haven't seen handball that much before, I'll explain what it means a little bit. So when we say a team is defending 6-0, which is I think what Liverpool are doing at the moment, that means they've got 6 defenders all sort of like close enough to hold hands to each other, basically around the 6-metre goalkeeper area. It's known as the 6 metre, it's known as the goalkeeper area, and they're basically creating a wall in front of the attackers for all 6 of them. When they say we're playing a 5-1 defence, that means you've got 5 players creating a wall around that 6-metre area, or the goalkeeper's area, whatever you want to call it, and then 1 player out towards the front, trying to disrupt the play, trying to force the attackers a little bit further back. It's a really good tactic if you've got sort of big backcourt shooters, because it makes the attackers sort of have to shoot from further away, or it upsets the rhythm of the play because you can try and intercept that ball. And you can also do 4-2, you can do 3-2-1, and all those sort of different formations. But yeah, that's what we tend to be talking about if we're saying Hawks are defending with a 5-1 formation, Liverpool defending with a 6-0.
Fantastic. We might, it looks like referees, what they wear is completely random. Rosa suggested they had referees wearing pink and red during our women's match in Nottingham, so there we go. It doesn't mean anything, just hard work, I think.
Well, I'm glad we didn't try and make an assumption and say, oh yes, it has to be that colour for the men's or the women's. Oh, good defence there.
There's quite a bit more interesting things in handball rather than what colour shirts the referees wear. So
I feel like we could probably
we'll part that one.
Yeah, now. We could probably fill the podcast with something slightly better than that next week, couldn't we?
Can, yeah.
But yeah, the reason I'm guessing that Hawks are playing that 5-1 defence because they want to stop Alicia, the number 2 of Liverpool, stop her running that fast and that direct, because as soon as she sees a gap, she's through it. She's through it already, taking the shots, and she's clearly very capable in that centre position. Very dangerous player indeed, so I can understand why Hawks are going that 5-1 defence.
So Liverpool pull 1 back. Hawks 6, Liverpool 4 in this top of the table clash in the Women's Premier Handball League. And Hawks still with the ball in the black and gold. Nice stripes. It's worth mentioning, of course, they are the defending champions as well. In fact, both men and women won the league title last season.
Yes, it was a brilliant year for them, to be honest. And even Donna said that she didn't think it. Oh, great goal though! And again, that's I think Paige Schofield from the right back position, dragging defenders along with her. They know how dangerous she is. Sophie Unsworth sees the gap, takes advantage, and a really good offload to her and a dispatch of the goal.
Oh, a bit of a mishandle there by Liverpool. They still managed to keep it in play and hold on to it. Now, they need to get the ball moving. They are. Can they find a way through? It's good defence by Hawks, isn't it? No way through there.
Yeah, very physical. They defend exactly like the men's team. As I said, the same coach. They have exactly the same ethos on how they attack and how they defend. They're very aggressive,
heavy.
And sometimes that aggression can lead to a penalty. But as I said in the first game, you have to defend on the edge. You have to back yourself. And teams like Liverpool, how fast they play, they're going to make you make those decisions and force those penalties as well.
Yeah, I think people sometimes, if you're new to handball, don't realise how physical it actually is. It is a contact sport, of course, and these floors are very hard, aren't they, in these leisure centres?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, amazing, you do get some that are harder than others. Some floors really hurt. I played one in Newcastle, and honestly, I'm pretty sure they just poured concrete. They didn't put an actual floor on. It really hurt when you went down on that one.
This one's quite heavy. You're tough up north. That's why. As Southerners, we like a bit of sponginess.
So you might as well have trampolines on the floors down south. It's great step again by Sophie Unsworth, and she seems to have the beating of Emily Daly. Daly, who I actually knew quite well from the Diva days. I think I recognise the name, and now I've seen her properly. Used to play in Diva. Quite a lot of the other team members from Liverpool gone by.
Well, how about this then for you? We've had a comment coming in. We'll come back to the action in a second as well, as Liverpool do score again, 8-5 at the minute. The under-16 Peninsula v Diva rival will never be topped, so says Mr. Meaty Chunks. So Liverpool getting back into this though. 8-5 at the minute in favour of the Hawks. Hawks have the ball as well, deep in the Liverpool half.
A well handball-educated person then putting that in the YouTube chat, I would say.
Very much so, I think, yes. I can't imagine the under-16 Peninsula v Diva category is particularly well known outside of those involved in it, and that's not to do it any injustice there.
No, it just so happens that those two always played each other because there weren't that many under-16s back then, I think. I used to run the North West Junior League, and it was always Peninsula versus Diva versus Tarpley. So, yeah, they created quite a rivalry. Sophie Unsworth is to be forced to the right back. They're all pretty closed over to the right-hand side, actually. There's a good spin from the left winger, and dispatches a brilliant shot into the left-hand side, and I think that was Sarah Carrick. It was indeed. He had the number 23, Sarah Carrick, for the North East Manchester Hawks. Difficult chance that, because she did have a player defending her really rather closely, but managed to squirrel away and get that shot off nicely.
Oh, that looked like almost
high
a
tackle.
Tug on the top of the shirt there, and that is 2 minutes in the bin.
Yeah, no complaints from Becky there. She, I think Chewbacca sort of knew what she was doing, maybe ducked down a little bit, but that's okay. You don't duck down all the way, but you have to change direction, low centre of gravity, and unfortunately Becky couldn't match the speed.
Attack trailing 4 down in this game, 9-5 total. And did that go in?
No, it was it was wide at the near post. We had a little bit of a celebration on the right-hand side, didn't we? I didn't know whether that was for the Hawks team celebrating that.
If you're wondering where we are, we're right down to the left-hand side of your screen, all the way down in that little corner, just off to the left of the grandstand, tucked away quite nice, in the danger zone actually when they come over this way, aren't we? We haven't been hit yet, but things will probably change now, I've said that.
Yeah, no, it's inevitably. Well, it's the right wing Liverpool shots we need to be careful of. Good step there by Paige Schofield, who's really taken this game by the scruff of the neck, I'd say, and seems to be providing most of the goals for North East Manchester Hawks at the moment.
Yeah, she's had a very impressive game so far, hasn't she? And Liverpool, now it's a 5-score game at the minute, but they pull one back there. It's Hawks 10, Liverpool 6.
Yeah, Julie Hanson for Liverpool on the right wing, and they need to take a bit more of an advantage of this Liverpool, and there we go. The 5-1 has been initiated to try and force the play. As the number 9 of Beth Wilbraham has come on the court for Hawks. At left back, that's I'm guessing they've swapped out Emily Madison from the line to try and bolster the backcourt positions, as Becky Barnes was playing at left back.
Yeah, of course, if you are just tuning in, Becky Barnes, 69, currently in at the sin bin. Still 20 seconds left before Hawks can get back up to their full complement. Ooh. No way through this time, and Liverpool haven't really been able to take advantage of this time, have they?
They haven't, actually. I'm just watching a replay of that hit, because, I mean, we heard it from over here. That sounded painful, that one. Oh, step by Wilbraham. The ball went in the net, but it's as called as travel. So Liverpool get the ball back, and looks like Hawks are going to be back to full complement. So yeah, I think it was only a 1-1 tie in that sort of 2-minute period.
Exactly. I think they'll be a little bit disappointed and need to take advantage of that. As we know, Liverpool top of the table, 3 wins from 3 so far this season, but mainly because Hawks have only played twice. This is their 3rd game, and of course they're unbeaten as well at the minute, leading it 10-6. They've got the advantage. We are, can you believe though, we're over halfway through the first half already, and once again they score and it's 11-6. And Hawks really in the ascendancy here.
Yeah, it was Dibden on the right wing. First time I've actually seen her get the ball with any kind of space to show what she can do, and clearly she can score. So maybe they'll be hoping to do that. As Tubeka steps Wilbraham and just stood still, sat in concrete.
She had to react quickly, didn't she?
Yeah, we had to react quickly to squint away as well, to be honest. I thought it was going to be an ankle broken there.
Yeah,
good pass to Emily Daly! And it's in the area.
So no goal. It stays 11-6 in the first half in this game. Nearly 17 minutes on the clock here. Still a long way to go. We've still got 13 minutes of this first half to go, and then of course we've got second half action to bring you as well at the end of the game. Just like in the men's game, we'll bring you live reaction. If we can grab the player of the match, we'll speak to both coaches as well, so don't go anywhere. At next week on the 27th we have the second Handball Hits show as well. So big match of the day in football, and you've got Handball Hits as Hawks make it 12-6 and they double Liverpool score.
Yeah, again it was that number 9 Beth Wilbraham who seems to have replaced Becky Barnes somewhat for the time being. After that 2-minute suspension, Liverpool give the ball away again. I think that's probably about 6 times now we've seen it, and they're 6 goals behind. Realistically, if they could make those, even half of those attacks count towards meaningful shots, then the game would be a lot closer. I am slightly surprised, I'd say, Ian. I was actually billing this one as a closer game than the men's, but at the moment it doesn't seem like Liverpool have quite turned up for the occasion just yet.
Yeah, don't rule them out just yet. They've got good pedigree. Still well in this one. The referee pulls it back.
Yeah, it was a goalkeeper's ball, that's why, and they took it as a free throw instead of a goalkeeper's ball.
So Liverpool with the ball. 18 minutes into this game now. It looks like, is that number 5 coming on? Of course, rolling subs, isn't it? So that's why we never actually do a starting list, because it just changes within literally 2 minutes, doesn't it? So,
yes, I think we tried that in the first couple of rounds, and I said there's no point, Ian.
Turnover, a bit of a mistake by Liverpool there. Can Hawks take advantage? You've got a player over on the left.
Oh,
yes,
great
they do.
hands again.
Oh, my word. Is that...
It's Paige Schofield for the third time in a row on those fast breaks.
Well, if she carries on at this form, she's making our player of the match selection later on quite easy at the minute, isn't she?
Yeah, actually, you just mentioned Trimmis on the left here, left wing, number 5 for Liverpool. She actually got the player of the match for Liverpool in their last game, and their victory against Trafford in the Cup. 30-29 that game finished. They won by 1. Trimmis got man of the match as Liverpool score to make it 13-7.
Yes, they do. If you like what you've seen, don't forget, check out the England Handball Association's website. There's a link in the body of this broadcast. It'll take you straight through. A bit of a wild throw there, though, for the Hawks. Perhaps a missed opportunity, but they are in the lead quite comfortably. 6 points in it at the minute. It's Hawks 13, Liverpool 7. Liverpool with the ball on the attack here at Oldham Leisure Centre. It's the Women's Premier League. It's top versus second place here. Liverpool in green, Hawks in the black and gold. Hawks leading it fairly comfortably at the minute, but a long way to go. Still in the first half here, 10 minutes, just over 10 minutes to go of this opening salvo.
Yeah, the game has gotten into a bit more of a rhythm than it did before. There's a good defence from the Hawks.
Strong defence, wasn't it, there?
Aggressive by Dibden to force Trimmis out wide, and then that created a little bit of space for Babette Nash. Oh, as here goes Paige Schofield. I was looking at my notes. And it's another fast break goal. Just a good interception, I think, that one. I didn't quite catch it. Yeah, another good fast break by Paige, and that makes it 14-7 now. Double the lead for Manchester Hawks.
I'm going to put commentator's curse on Paige Schofield here, but she just doesn't miss, does she?
Oh, it's... I missed what you said there, Ian.
I was going to say, I'll probably just put commentator's curse on Paige, but she doesn't miss, does she? Just doesn't miss.
She seems to be really rather efficient. There's definitely a tactic there, isn't it? They've been employing that. They're really aggressive with their left and right back defence. Trimmis goes for the shot and misses on the near post. Looks like maybe
she's struggling
got
with that
injured
right elbow,
well.
isn't she? Yeah, Trimmis. She has got a strap in it already. I think she's feeling it a little bit. Let's hope it's nothing too serious and she can continue. Remember, get your comments coming in. Keep them coming in at half time. We're going to go through them. We've got a question. We want to hear from you. You want to get those messages of support in. Head over to Live Sport now on YouTube. There's a link in the body of this broadcast. Take you through. Hit subscribe. You can comment in the chat section. We'll show it at half time. So get them in. We're going to put them to our resident expert, Jack Oliphant. So you've got a question. Going to make him as hard as you possibly can as well.
Just don't ask me why the referees wear certain colour shirts.
Ask
and we'll be
him why
fine.
the referees wear certain colour shirts.
I'm actually quite impressed with what Manchester Hawks are doing here in terms of how they're setting up the fast break, in terms of they're setting up from their defence. They're really aggressive on that, especially the right-hand side, the right-back position here, Sophie Unsworth.
We've got to play it down. That looks quite heavy on the right shoulder as well.
I mean, it was, to be honest, instinctively I called a foul in my head.
She looks like she's hurt, unfortunately.
She seems to be getting herself up from that right-hand side, though. So that is the number 2 as well. It's Alicia, who has been one of the most sort of influential and powerful players that Liverpool have had.
We did see an injury in the men's game, didn't we, early on? I thought to Ryan, hopefully he's okay. He did go to hospital. It looked like a dislocated shoulder. We're not too sure.
It was. I was speaking to Donna as well, and we both agreed we should have probably said something in the interview. And it was on my list of questions, but the interview went on for quite a long time. So I sort of forgot about them. But I just kept thinking of other things to say. But yes, apparently, he went off to hospital, and hopefully we'll hear some news of how he's gotten on. But unfortunately, all we know is that he's got a dislocated shoulder, and he's sat in A&E, so it could be hours before we hear anything. Hawks turn the ball over though, and it looks like Tobacco with the fast break. Great save by the number 1 of Manchester Hawks. That was Natalie Pearl in the goal.
Natalie's had a good game. I haven't really mentioned Natalie Pearl yet in the Hawks goal, but she has had a blinder so far. And you could see the disappointment, couldn't you, that she didn't convert that, the Liverpool player, number 28, I believe.
Tobacco, the one who played right back and is playing it rather well as well. But it seems that since Alicia's gone off, that number 2 gone off with that slight injury, Tobacco's gone into that centre position to try and influence play from the middle. And again, Sophie Unsworth trying to go that aggressive right back defence. Saves there again though by Natalie Pearl. Yeah, not a lot gets past Natalie, does it? I have to say, I've been mightily impressed. It remains Hawks 14, Liverpool 7 in this top of the table clash. And Liverpool don't look like they have an answer at the minute. No, I think, as I said, Hawks have come out with a game plan and they're certainly executing it. And with goals like that, it's hard to defend against because Hawks just keep the ball moving. They ride all of the tackles. And they eventually come out with the space on the left-hand side, and it seems they've got players all over the court that can finish them as well. So, Liverpool, to get anything from this game now, are going to have to be superb for the rest of it. I'm slightly surprised we haven't seen a timeout being called by them yet. Yeah, it's an 8-point game in favour of Hawks, and they're in danger of being out of it by half-time, aren't they? We've still got 6.5 minutes or so, 7 minutes left on the clock, so there's still time. And as we can see, anything can happen in handball. What I would say from Liverpool is they do need to change something because clearly what's working for them right now is, I mean, it doesn't help with individual errors like that. They didn't turn the ball over that time, but Paige Schofield has been told what she needs to do and she's executing it. And as I said, I'm loving the fact that they've got 2 passes here on the passive play. They go for the shot, but I'm loving the fact that on this right-hand side they're going very, very aggressive on the defence to try and turn the ball over. And then as soon as it looks like an opportunity for a turnover, Schofield's gone and all the way up the court. And it's not an easy pass by any means, but it's it's an open pass potentially. Becky Barnes gives a step inside. She's back on the court.
Tucks it in and that left side, brilliant.
Yeah, it's to be honest, I think it's probably from her standards a slightly scrappy goal for Becky Barnes. Even she'll probably be the first to admit that, but sometimes you need to get them in to get yourself on a roll and get some momentum.
That's a strong name, isn't it, Becky Barnes, I have to say.
Strong player as well, trust me. She used to train with us at Leeds Becky University, and
once again, here we go. You were just talking about the break, and it is great save this time though by the keeper.
Yeah, they're coming together actually, but they're all okay. They're back up.
Yeah, it was nice to see actually. They were probably off camera, but there was handshakes down there. They're all patting each other on the back. Nice to see. It's intense rivalry, but at the end of the day, it's sport, and we like to see competition but we like to see a few handshakes at the end of it too. Nobody who actually wants to hurt anybody here.
No, absolutely not.
Right,
Hawks
on the attack.
again. That looked like that was a forced ball to the. Ooh, and that was another forced pass. 2 forced passes in quick succession, and turning the ball over.
I'll tell you what, with a throw like that though, Becky Barnes should be playing American football as well.
As I said, when we used to train together at Leeds Beckett, it was. Yeah, she's a very good player. She would run rings around most of us. It was brilliant, really, to see. And yeah, she clearly carried on playing. And I haven't spoken to her for a while, but it's clearly very good still.
It's a little bit safer here in the commentary box, isn't it? So,
yeah, so I don't injure myself anywhere near as much these days. Yeah, a bit of relief. And here, another technical error. The ball gets given away. And Paige this time slots the ball in the bottom right hand corner, goes for the other side. Normally she's gone for that left hand side as we look at it, as she looks at it as well. And actually she's been subbed off here, so clearly Donna thinking that she could start to rotate the bench and give some players a little bit more game time.
yeah, remember, stay with us at half time. We have got some highlights to show you from last month's game between West London Eagles and London GD, and we're going to put our questions and show you the comments that have been coming in throughout this first half. Going to let you know what's coming as well. Next week we've got more handball for you with our Handball Hit show, and I believe actually the week after is when our next games are likely to go ahead. I can't confirm it just yet, but I can tell you it's likely what is likely to happen, because realistically there's only one weekend of handball action in December, so it's probably going to have to be that weekend.
Well, yeah. We'd struggle to do any other weekend, I think. That's for sure. But yeah, looking forward to the Handball Hit. It was a fun show. It was a bit of an experiment, wasn't it, the first time round? Oh, good line play. Good pass by Sophie. And straight to the line. That was really good coming in from that right wing position. And just having a look, it's the number 28 for North East Manchester Hawks. That is Zachlin Zamkoivoy. And yeah, really good. From that right wing through onto the line, and they worked it perfectly.
Something of a statement of intent, this, it seems, from the NEM Hawks, doesn't it?
Not messing around.
They want that top spot, don't they? And Liverpool, as we said, are unbeaten so far. 3 games, 3 wins. They're kind of, you know, with respect, they're being put to the sword here by Hawks.
Yeah, well, we sort of made a thing of obviously Liverpool being top, but we've only probably mentioned it a small handful of times that Manchester Hawks are the champions. And they are also unbeaten, so they in theory should be the favourite as well, as pass and play goes up again against Liverpool, and Beth gets the interception, hits the foot of the Liverpool player, and it's a fast break on for Sophie Unsworth.
They are so quick on the break, aren't they? I don't. You're more technical in this side of things, but it just seems they always seem to get through on the break every time.
It's amazing how much more exhausting it is to run back as a defender than it is to run forward as an attacker. It's
and a nice comfortable chair in the corner as well, and I don't have to run back. So
that's a penalty. Yes, that's a penalty. I'll explain why. Is Becky was stood in the area when the line player tried to turn to take. So if there was defending in the area of any sort, you instantly get a penalty for it. And as the number 3 for Liverpool steps up, that's Krista Yakovleva, and it's a great save by the Manchester Hawks goalkeeper Natalie Pearl, but it's the rebound goes straight to Kirsta and straight into the bottom corner as well. But yeah, it shouldn't be any harder to run back than it is to run forwards, but to put it in a motorsport perspective, Ian, it's easier to chase a car than it is to be in the lead of a race, and it's a psychological thing. You know, everybody likes to get forward and score a goal, but it's a bit different. Even if you love defending, you don't want to concede.
Although
it's still a different kettle of fish.
Be in the lead, I think.
Yes, exactly. It's still a different kettle of fish. And of course, as a defender, fundamentally, you have to turn around and start your run, whereas most attackers will be running and they'll be facing the goal they're attacking to start with. So, yeah, instantly you're pretty much on the back foot.
Well, it's an 11-point game. Hawks 19, Liverpool 8, and you know you've still got half an hour to go. If they can shape up, I mean, it's mistakes like that, isn't it, that is really costing Liverpool in this game, and Hawks just take advantage every single time. 12 points in it. Surely there's not a lot more Liverpool can do, is there, in the second half?
Well, they could. Basically, all they can really do is just try something completely different at this point. It's yeah, it is getting run away from them. The only thing they can really hope for is that they sort of build some kind of momentum. They try some things that maybe almost treat it like a training game. But as we hit half time, it's a big 10 minutes for Andy Fleming on the Liverpool bench. Oh, I should explain what's going on here, actually, because I don't think we've seen this in our broadcast before.
No,
effectively, as the buzzer goes for half-time or full-time, if it's a foul, then they can take a shot from it.
Oh, it's going over.
Oh, a very famous one, if you want to Google it, it's absolutely unbelievable. I think is Athens 2008 for Denmark is a person called Mikkel Hansen, and he got one on the buzzer for full-time, and I think it was to draw the game. And I think they've proven it, that it's not physically possible that he could have done it, and yet he managed to get it into the top corner. It's quite incredible. So, yeah, if you want to YouTube that.
Quite, yeah, do check that out. Don't do it yet.
Mikkel Hansen. Yeah, not yet. At the end of the game. Mikkel Hansen free throw. That's
but it is half-time here at Oldham Legends. NEM Hawks 20, Liverpool 8. Now, if you're the Liverpool coach, what are you saying now to your team?
Restart, I suppose. As I said, if I was Andy Fleming, I'd be trying to think of something not radical, but just something different. As you just sort of mentioned, there didn't seem to be much of an answer that Liverpool could throw out there from their own sort of off their own back. Hawks were really aggressive, going for those interceptions, taking advantage of the fact that Liverpool have been sloppy. Maybe their confidence is relatively low. And then those fast breaks, they are so demoralising. In fact, getting fast break is a reason why Donna said that she always feels like they have a target on their back constantly. Yeah. It's because that's what makes them so unpleasant to play against. Is so physical in the turnovers, and then as soon as it's turned over, you look over your shoulder and they've got 3 players running at your goal. Yeah. And as I said, as soon as 3 or 4 of them go in, your head's on the floor, they're running away, they're happy, their tails are up and they're going for it, sort of thing. So, yeah, I think Liverpool really need to focus on keeping hold of the ball and maybe even trying their own fast breaks and just getting some momentum. A little like what we saw in the men's game, actually. Liverpool played best when they were actually going full on. I don't know if the camera can see it, actually. Just below us is Sue and Ellie Whitehead, who's unfortunately not playing today, flogging off raffle tickets to try and win somebody for the club.
They tried to get rid of raffle this morning. We'll put the camera on them there. Well, there they are doing the raffle here. How nice is that to see? 3-4-3. Anybody got 3-4-3? Anybody? It's nice to see, isn't it? Let's have a look at some of the comments whilst we're here, shall we, as well. Rose has been commenting a lot. Thank you very much, Rose. Do keep the comments coming in. Come on, Liverpool. Silly mistakes. I think that kind of sums it up, doesn't it, really?
I think she's just done an analysis for us, to be honest.
She goes on to say, as well, patience in attack. A lot of support for Liverpool. Even in the men's game, we had a lot more support on social media for Liverpool than we did NEM Hawks. Maria there, go Liverpool. Look, they're not out of this, are they? Like the Hawks, they're playing like the champions that they are. They're not going to let this one slip, are they?
I would be very surprised. I mean, there's always the age-old argument, if they can do it in one half, you can do it in the other. But as I said, there's going to have to be a major turnaround, and Hawks don't look like they're exactly struggling. They haven't broken out of 3rd or 4th gear, I would say, even though they've been doing those fast breaks in attack, in their structured attack. They haven't had to produce anything magical. They haven't had to really focus down on putting their moves on or anything like that, and a lot of it has been obviously taking advantage of the fast breaks. I hope Liverpool can come out. I hope they've got a plan B, because if they don't have a plan B, it's going to be a painful 30 minutes for them.
Yeah, I imagine there's always a danger from Hawks' side of getting a little bit complacent when I suppose you get a big lead, isn't there? But talking of complacent, that's something that certainly didn't happen last month, did it, when we headed into the capital for West London Eagles against London GD, both the men's and women's games, just like we've been doing today, and I'm delighted to Yeah, there you go. Some of the best goals there, but yeah, some of the best goals there. Very nice indeed. And coming up, we have Handball Hits to bring you next Sunday at 8 o'clock as well. Make sure you tune in for that. Wherever you're watching this broadcast now, you can watch Handball Hits as well. Handball Hits, basically, what it is match of the day. If you ever watch match of the day in football, it's a bit like that, only it's for handball. So you can see the players just getting themselves ready, a few refreshments going in. We've got to wait for the raffle to get done, of course, before we bring you the second half action. I'm certainly excited for this. Now, Jack, we always ask, what is the final score going to be?
Yeah, I sort of planned to avoid that question at the beginning of the stream. I'm glad you didn't ask me that.
I forgot, that's all.
Oh, thank
that's
God.
What I'm doing it now.
So I wouldn't have had an answer for you, to be honest. I would have skirted around the question. Oh, brilliant. I think it can go one or two ways, let's put it this way. No, so that's a fairly obvious thing to say, but I will try and explain myself. Hawks, sorry, it depends, I think, how Liverpool come out. If Liverpool come out with a completely different game plan and they disrupt Hawks in their attack, they can manage to convert a few, and they shift the momentum, basically. It's all about the momentum. Then I can see it being slightly closer, but I still think the lead is going to increase. I reckon I'm going to go for a Hawks 35. Liverpool, I think we'll get to 20.
So you think they're going to slow down a little bit in the second half?
I think
because they put 20 on the board in the first half. I mean, you often see it, don't you? When you get into a big lead, a bit of momentum perhaps goes out of the game, but the urgency is not quite there because you don't need it to be there.
Well, that's it. I think, as I said, it depends on how up for it Liverpool are. Hawks, they could equal their first half performance, but they might also drop off because they're going to rotate the bench. And that's what I'm sort of thinking. However, said that, they rotate the bench in the first half and they were just as strong. But it's whether or not they keep up that conviction or whether they think the game's won. They don't try as hard. That's not necessarily the way of Manchester Hawks. They're normally always going 100%. But, you know, even a 10% drop-off can, mean you lose out on 5 goals and a half. And Liverpool do need to step it up. And that's why I'm backing them to step it up. So I think I think that Hawks will score less than this half, and Liverpool, will score a bit more.
Surely their aim will maybe
15-12 in the second half is what I'm going for Hawks.
Okay.
Basically.
I was going to say, surely Liverpool just aim to win the second half. They're unlikely to win from here. Let's have a look at some more of the comments coming in. Our good friend Mr. BT Chunks has been commenting on YouTube at Live Sport Now. Don't forget, there is a link in the body of this broadcast. It'll take you straight there. If you're watching it, do hit subscribe. It helps us. Liverpool are missing 1 or 2 big players as well, though.
Explain a lot.
Which does, perhaps explain a lot. Dean has commented as well, saying, come on, girls. Laura Black has commented as well. Come on, Liverpool, gutted not to be playing. But I assume Laura's one of the big players that they're missing.
Laura used to play for Diva, and I was expecting to see her today, to be fair, and I was a bit surprised when she wasn't here, so that
maybe she knew you were coming, Jack.
Well, maybe, potentially, yeah. That's why Ryan Thomas went off. No, I'm kidding.
I'm joking.
But no, it's I was expecting some sort of big players of Liverpool to turn up, and I assumed that they weren't here, that maybe they weren't playing anymore, but if they're just not able to be here, then that is a bit of a shame, and that would have made it a lot closer game, I think. Interested to know who the other players that they're missing out on would have been as well. But a bit of a shame.
Well, comment if you know, please. Mr. Meaty Chunks, a good friend, and Laura, please do comment. Who are you missing? Because I'll be honest, we're not totally sure. We're just over a minute or so away from the second half getting back underway, and Liverpool just doing their customary huddle handshake before they get going. You can probably hear them there. The crowd's starting to, I think some of the crowd have just decided to head off home a little bit.
Well, they've done the raffle, haven't they? They've already come for the raffle.
No, they've come to watch the men's and women's Premier Handball League. Yeah, we are going to be bringing you 18 games in total throughout the course of the season. This is the 4th game already, Jack. Can you believe that? Next month, in fact, in about 2 weeks' time, actually, it's looking like, and this isn't confirmed, by the way, but it's looking like we're going to be heading to Cambridge. It's going to be Cambridge against Arctic Falcons. And we're also going to bring you Cambridge against Carshalton Titans in the men's. So that's what it's looking like, if I'm totally honest. I've just seen some of the crowd there talking towards it with 2 bags of Doritos. Other crisps are available. Thinking they were going to bring them over. but she's just sat down.
Well, no, can't imagine
know why.
Yeah, I can't imagine why.
I thought you were going to be like, I hoped.
You can tell we're hungry, can't you?
If anybody is here and wants to bring us some crisps, that would be lovely.
I was going to say, in between me talking, I'm trying to scoff down a flapjack at the moment, but we're about to get the action underway. I think we should probably focus on that. 20 to Manchester Hawks, 8 to Liverpool. Second half underway by Manchester Hawks as well. So, yeah, pretty much looks like the same lineup they finished the first half with is back out there on the second half. What do Liverpool have in the back pocket? We'll have to wait and see. Is there going to be a plan B? Is there just going to be a momentum shift? Are they a bit more up for it now? Those technical mistakes have gone, and can they step it up again? There's a first shot to Manchester Hawks.
Oh, great defence though by Liverpool this time. They have come out the blocks a little bit. We really, really want to see them make a go of this in the second half, don't we? I'm sure they will.
Yeah, as we said, they sort of have to now. They don't really. I think we saw YouTube comments saying they don't have anything to lose. That's exactly right. As Emily Daly rushes out to try and block Becky Barnes, who gets the ball to Beth Wilgram, but doesn't get the turn. Good defence there by Liverpool. A better defence by Liverpool.
I just told Amy Hardwick is missing as well for Liverpool.
That's another one I thought would be playing. Yeah, used to play for Peninsula back in the day. Oh, and two good saves by the Liverpool goalkeeper.
So here we go, Liverpool on the attack now in this second half, and they've survived a wave from Hawks. Can they now take advantage and get to 9 as quick as possible? And the referee signals it's going to stay with Liverpool. She was going down, always going down. They're trying to get through the middle. There was no way through. We've been very impressed by the Hawks' defence.
As they give away a penalty. That's your commentator's curse this time round, Ian.
No, I'll take this. Sorry, Hawks. If you lose this game, it's my fault.
I think, as you said, there's going to have to be a bit of a big shift, but this could be the start of it. There's a good goal there by Liverpool Handball Club's Babette. I want to say it's either Nagy or Naj. I know there's a handball player who we used to watch in the Champions League who had a spelling the same name, N-A-G-Y, that used to be pronounced Naj, so I'm going to go with that.
Yeah. Yeah, so Liverpool first to score in the second half then, and the defence looks like it's tightened up a little bit, Jack.
Yeah, a bit more aggressive. I reckon it might arguably be a bit more sort of open for the line player, but equally that's because they're trying to get at the Manchester Hawks backcourt players a little bit higher up, a little bit more aggressive to stop them before they can really get a run on them. A little bit like that, so there's a lot of space for the wing, but they're trying to push out and tackle at 7 or 8 metres rather than waiting on 6 for them to just jump over them. And you can see there, Tabaka, the 28, stepping out already to 7 or 8 metres as soon as Becky Barnes gets the ball, forcing her to go inside and take the shot from a long way out.
Yeah, so she does. Liverpool back with the ball and the attack. The only scorer so far in this second half, although we are only 3 minutes into it. But can they get another one and get into double figures in this game? They're trying to work it over on that right wing. Back to the centre. It's going to turn over, though. We saw that a few times, didn't we, in the first half? But they've managed to survive this one, keep the ball. Liverpool in green on the attack. Hawks in the egg yolk yellow. Although gold, we've decided.
Champions gold, I think I'd rather you say.
Yeah, gold medal gold. We'll go with that one. And deservedly so. They are the defending champions in the Women's Premier Handball League, as are the men's in the Men's Premier Handball League as well. What a season it was last year for the NEM Hawks, and what a season it's shaping up to be so far already for the NEM Hawks. The men were winners a little bit earlier today.
Yeah, misplaced that there by Becky. And almost hitting our laptop, actually.
It came down to us, didn't it? Yeah.
Yes. So reacting quickly, they're trying to save the laptop.
I try not to touch the ball. I made a huge mistake at the national final of picking the ball up and then really having sticky resin all over my hand for the rest of the day. So it's not like a football or anything like that. It's covered in sticky resin. And if you get your hands on it, it's almost impossible to get off. Hawks, oh, what a save that is by Liverpool. Hawks broke through on the attack, as we saw quite a lot. Surely that's going to be a foul, and it is, and Liverpool move quickly. Look, they are speeding this game up now, aren't they? They want this. They want to get to 10 as quickly as possible. Do they make it? No, into the box, and it stays Hawks 20, Liverpool 9 in this second half of the Women's Premier Handball League. Liverpool top of the table, 3 wins from 3 so far. Hawks second in the table, have only played 2 games so far, 1 and both, of course, and they're winning this one at the minute as well.
Yeah, that's a great start to the first half, it has to be said, by Hannah Kempster in goal for Liverpool. Made 2 or 3 saves right at the beginning, and then that was another good one from the shot from Sophie Unsworth. So, yeah, some crucial saves that have sort of killed the Hawks' momentum, shall we say. They haven't actually scored since we've restarted, and that is bang on 5 minutes ago now. So, yeah, if Liverpool have anything good to come of this second half...
Was that it?
I think it was off the bar.
We need VAR.
Yeah, we need Hawkeye, don't we? As again, Hawks trying to force that. And Liverpool are doing a lot better in their recovery runs, and then transitioning in attack as well. There's plenty of space there. There's an opportunity. I'll tell you what, they have turned up stronger in this second half, Liverpool, than Hawks have. As if Hawks probably came away from that first half thinking the game was won. And I'm not saying there's going to be a massive upset, but it's now 2-0 in the second half to Liverpool. Yeah,
Liverpool so far the only team to score in this second half. We are 5.5 minutes into it as well, and Hawks, as we said, there's always a bit of a danger when you get into a lead, isn't there? A little bit of, I wouldn't say necessarily complacency, but the urgency just disappears a little bit because you don't need to press as hard, you don't need to be as quick because you've got that such a cushion.
Oh, but with steps like that, there's always goals in the team. Sophie Unsworth makes up for that fast break before and gets the lovely goal by about 3 players, I think, in the end.
Yeah, so Hawks on the scoreboard in the second half then. Hawks 21, Liverpool 10. Liverpool have had a lot of ball in the second half so far, but only scored twice so far. The Hawks' defence is still strong, isn't it? And they're always capable of a bit of a slip, a bit of a mistake there again.
Yeah, well, like we said, or like it's been pointed out, I should say, actually, Liverpool are missing a few players, and you can tell they're missing backcourt players specifically. I mean, it's good to see Alicia, who went off on that first half, come back on at centre, the number 2. But yeah, Laura back in the YouTube comments was talking. And Laura's an extremely good centre court player, very, very fast, very direct. You would miss not having her on the team. And Amy Hardwick is a very good player in herself, but she coaches now for England or GB women's teams, under 16s and 17s and 18s and everything. So yeah, those 2 are very influential players in any team.
Absolutely, clearly missing 2 big players. But still, 11-point game in it. Yeah, it's about just trying to get on the scoreboard as many times as possible. Hawks with the ball though, on the attack, the home side. The ball goes into the crowd.
Almost hits the Doritos.
And that gentleman now is like, great, I've got sticky resin all over me out for the rest of the afternoon. There we go. Liverpool on the attack. Can they make it count? Oh, lovely take out and a lovely goal by 28 there for Liverpool.
Yeah, and that's 28 Marta Tobacco, who we've spoken about quite a few times already so far this today. Clearly comfortable at the right back position, but the right-hander, you'd quite often think maybe moving her to around the backcourt to try and get her up against some other players, to try and take advantage of that fast step that she's got, and just try and give Hawks something else to think about. In regards to the tack, yeah, there is a lot of tack on these balls. They're not allowed to use it at every single venue, interestingly, actually.
Yes,
so
yeah.
They're not allowed to use it at Greenbank Sports Centre, which is where Liverpool play their home games. So actually, like Hawks, they can use it every single game here, but Liverpool can't. So it's actually a bit of a headache, let's say, for Liverpool when they come here, and then or a headache for Hawks when they go over to Liverpool, because playing with a tacky ball compared to playing with a smooth ball, shall we say, is a completely different experience, a completely different game as well.
I imagine it's a bit like in football, isn't it? Playing a grass pitch and playing a synthetic pitch.
It's similar, yeah. In the synthetic pitch, you can. Good goal there again by Alicia, pointing her out before. Yeah, with a synthetic 4G pitch in football, you can pass the ball on the floor a little bit better, especially in Saturday and Sunday League amateur football and grassroots. The football you can play is a lot slicker. It's a lot closer to what you'd see in the professional game, shall we say. But if you play on grass pitch, which is waterlogged and bobbly and everything, you're going to have sloppy handball, and that's like playing without tack.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go. Hawks.
Oh, great hands by...
Good save again. And Liverpool winning the second half so far. I think it's, 3-1 or something in the second half, or 4-1. It's 4-1 in the second half, isn't it? Yeah, 4-1. Yeah. So they're doing well, Liverpool. Yeah. They have come out the blocks. They've done exactly what they needed. And at the minute, the gap is down to single figures again.
Yeah, as the ball gets turned over again, it's very fast and frantic. This is Liverpool's game plan now, I think, isn't it? It's to try and play Manchester Hawks almost at their game and to try and match them to it. And well, at the moment, they're doing a successful job. It was really good hands before by the line player, which is Emily Madison, the number 13 for Hawks. feels really weird. To be honest, I keep having in mind like what her actual name is, because I keep wanting to call her Ginge, but it's Emily Madison there, who didn't get the shot away. And this time, Liverpool get the ball up.
Rosa
and
wants to know, is it England or GB for the coaching? But we do know it's GB under 19.
Becky Barnes scores the goal. Sorry, I'll answer that question in a minute. Really good battle and play. What was it?
England or GB for Amy? We believe it's GB under 19.
I think it's GB under 19s. When I was,
thanks to Mr. Meaty Trump,
started coaching for England under 16s, like their regional academy or something like that. She was the women's under 16 regional academy, I think. So that's why I might be getting a bit confused. But I think it is GB under 19s now.
There you go, 22-13. Apologies, I think it's a bit slow on the uptake for a Liverpool goal there. It is Hawks 22, Liverpool 13. Hawks on the ball in the black and gold, Liverpool in the green. And Hawks in not a particularly big rush.
No, but the 23 for Hawks, Sarah Carrick saw an opportunity, saw the defender was on her heels, tried to take advantage and did take advantage, because 22 couldn't recover in time and gave away the penalty. That's Hinatsu Kato. Sarah Carrick won the penalty and makes no mistakes about dispatching it as well.
Yeah, very well placed indeed. It goes to a 10-point game again in favour of the North East Manchester Hawks.
I've just seen, we won't be able to get a camera on it because it's unfortunately at the wrong angle, but in this close to us, at the top of the stands here, we've actually got a banner for, I think it's Hawks, I think it's Becky Barnes. It got taken away, unfortunately, but I think it's Becky.
Why has it been taken away?
I don't know. I think he's waiting to put it up when she's in attack. We'll have to keep an eye on that one as Liverpool try and move the ball. And good movement on the left-hand side, but a great save there by Natalie Pearl. And that turns the ball over. Natalie Pearl having a great game in the Manchester Hawks goal. It's not like Liverpool have given her easy shots to save. Every single one of them has been very impressive.
Yeah, she has played well. Here there is it is a Hawks banner. I'm just trying to look, and I think it is.
I think it may well be. Well,
it is for Becky Barnes. Yeah, it is absolutely. Yeah, it's two bees with wings either side.
Looks like she's got her own logo by the looks of it. Yeah, they're showing it to us now. It's very good, to be fair.
She's got her own fan club.
As that happened, actually, the Hawks, unfortunately. Oh, they got a yellow card for Donna. Yeah, yellow card for Donna Hankinson, and I think that's for. We said before, Ian, in the first game, in the men's game, that both her and Andy were known for their vocalness on the side of the court, and by looks like maybe it just got a little bit too far there. Their passion, shall we say.
Yeah, the men's game. Do go back and watch it, by the way. It is across the England Handball Association YouTube channel, Twitter page, Facebook page, as well as Live Sport Now. It's well worth a watch. I've never heard such a loud bench as the Liverpool bench. It's quite remarkable, really. What's going on here, Jack?
Yeah, so the left back's just been caught by the Manchester Hawks defender a little bit high there, and in fact, actually, I said before that I'm surprised they haven't moved Rebecca over to the other side of the to try and attack another player, and that's exactly what's happened. And there's been a red card produced. Now that has taken me by surprise. I didn't think that was a red card offence. I thought
it's a shame we
2 minutes for sure. Yeah, 100%.
Oh, 2 minutes. Yes. Yeah.
No, but he's just held the card up. Yeah, she's having to collect. Oh, they overturned it. No. So right, okay. Now I have to. Well, I don't think we've streamed a red card before here. Another opportunity for me to try and explain what's going on.
I think Paul Dempsey might have got a red card, the coach at the end of the Eagles.
Yes, yeah, he did actually.
So that is a red card?
So, yeah, I'll finish. Yeah, Liverpool attack breaks down. So, effectively, I couldn't tell you why it was a red card, because I didn't think it was a red card. I can only assume it was too high a tackle. It was, in my opinion, 2 minutes, but here we are. Becky Barnes makes the interception.
Will she speak to you, do you think?
Maybe, hold on. Becky dispatched a fast break. But it would look like it was a 2 minute foul, high tackle, but unfortunately, well, I say it's been given a red card. What happens now then, it's treated as a 2 minute suspension. So Hawks are down to 5 outfield players, 5 defenders I should say, and 1 goalkeeper. And after 2 minutes they can bring another player on, but obviously it can't be the player, it can't be Sophie Unsworth who's been given the red card. She can't stay on, as Rebecca, who was the recipient of the tackle that got the red card, They obviously can't bring Sophie Unsworth back on. She needs to leave the bench and everything, so she's over here pretty much next to us now.
Well, shall we see? Do you want to see if you can quickly grab Sophie, see if she'll have a quick chat with us? As Becky Barnes goes on the attack.
Do you want to explain what that was about from your perspective? Yeah, Sophie then, from your perspective, talk us through that one, because I couldn't really see a red card in it, I'll be honest.
I don't think many people could see a red card, even the Liverpool then were saying it wasn't. I think basically I just went in for the tackle like you do to hit the shoulder. Martha did a good sort of feint and she dropped her shoulder, so my hand just hit her neck, and from their perspective I just went and pushed her in her neck, which even Martha was saying that it wasn't a red card. So
is there 2 minutes in it for you maybe, but not a red?
2 minutes maybe, I don't know, it's debatable how we're feeling about the ref in this game, but I won't get too political with it. I don't think anyone agrees that was a red. That was just a mistake on my half. It definitely hit in the neck, but it wasn't an intentional push in the neck to stop her, She just fainted. So it is what it is, though, isn't it? Hopefully we'll still come out with the win in the end. But
talk us through the rest of the game then, because obviously it's been pretty hard work in the centre for you there, hasn't it?
I think Liverpool are a good team. Age is going on now. To be fair, I think the start of this game, Liverpool's keeper's come on and made a big difference to them. She made some good saves. I think we might come on this second half a bit calm, a bit too relaxed maybe, and Liverpool have definitely come in looking stronger and ready to attack more. But I still think we'll get the win today, judging by how we're playing today. A lot of learning from this though as well, I think, with coming into second halves and not being too relaxed. But I think the rest of the game we'll push through. I think we'll get a win, but Liverpool are being a good component, good team to play against today, so yeah, I think we'll get the win though.
Fingers crossed. But before we let you go, just because there's a timeout, one more question. You were very aggressive on this right-back defence here, and Paige was so rapid on the turnovers as well. Is that something that the team was sort of planning on exploiting?
I think we try and exploit that. We've got a lot of fast, fit players, and Paige is definitely one of them. So when she's pushing out anyway, it's really easy for us. As soon as we get the turnover, Paige is already in the other half, and she's got the legs for it, she's got the stamina. So that's why she's just been pinging them in the back of the net. I think we are quick, and we've got some good people who can just throw a long ball and get it in the right direction, and Paige is always on the receiving end, and she's pretty good and she's pretty reliable to get it in the back of the net, so that's definitely something we try and exploit with most teams, is our fitness and our speed.
Sophie, would you just stand forward and give our camera a wave at the top?
Yeah, so this is where we're based, this is Sophie. There is somebody just standing in the way, which is really convenient.
We got you, Sophie, thank you very much.
But thank you very much for coming and having a chat to us.
Yeah, no worries, thanks guys.
Thanks, Sophie.
Cheers. That's a good insight. I feel like we should do that more often. Normally people who get a red card aren't so happy to come and have a chat, but yeah, quite a good live reaction there as the game's been going on. Ended up 25-14 at the halfway of this second half mark, shall we say. So yeah, about 14 and a half minutes to go. Hawks lead by 11, which is one less than what it was at half time, wasn't it? So you could say that Liverpool have they're winning this second half. They have played a lot better though, haven't they, Ian? But as a consequence to them being more aggressive in defence and being more aggressive in attack, they've left themselves slightly more open to Hawks to exploit once they get back into the rhythm. Yeah,
they have been a lot better. In fact, you saw it quickly how aggressive they changed their defence, didn't they, to be a lot more aggressive, and it paid dividends early on. But Hawks are now really starting to get back into this one again, aren't they, and assert their championship authority.
Yeah, and a good goal there. I think it was from Ella Dibden. There's no messing about with that one, and that's Marta Tabaka again, who I would say for Liverpool is my shout for player of the match so far. That and the goalkeeper. Becky Barnes picks up the ball that she lost in the first place and manages this time to make no mistake, takes the shot herself and gets it into the back of
If they could just slow this down a little bit, because I'm running the scoreboard myself for the stream, and I've literally just been sat here in front of the computer constantly for the last 2 minutes manually changing that score. So if we could just have a minute where we don't have a score, that would save my,
that'd be boring,
my
Ian.
index fingers and my back from bending over the laptop. No, that would be boring. This is what we like, fast-paced. This is handball. I mean, what a sport this is. If you are tuning in for the first time, hello and welcome. If you do want to find out more, head over to the England Handball Association website. There is a link in the body of this broadcast. Just give it a click wherever you're watching it. Take you straight through. You don't even have to type it out. How good is that? Here are Hawks on the attack. They've got a 12-point lead in this game. We've got about 13 minutes or so left. We're into the second half now. Hawks are going to win. It just depends by how much now, doesn't it?
Yeah, Beth Wilburn there with a fantastic step on that right back position. I'll say it before, I'll say it again, it's so hard to be a right-hander on that side of the circuit, I was going to say, of the court. Straight to the end, and Emily Daly from the line manages to stick it in the back of the net. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, you were asking for them to slow it down. They're not listening to you, Ian, and I'm very glad about it.
No, it's got faster, if anything. It's nice to see Liverpool getting back on that scoreboard. As in fact, they've equalled their first half score total. They've scored 8 in the first half. They've obviously scored 8 in the second half because they've got 16 points. So by
good maths,
way of my...
Well done, Ian. Always the insightful commentators, aren't we?
Yeah, that's what C at GCSEs, right there.
Great pass there to Emily Madison.
Oh, that was a good save, actually.
Damn good save, really. I mean, to be honest, it's getting to about that time that we probably have to start thinking about the player of the match again. Have it in the back of our minds.
Well, I think I know who mine is. I think it's...
are you actually going to... Normally you don't make any predictions, right? The more you make me
well,
do it.
You're more of the expert than me. But for me, so far, it's been Paige Schofield. I just think the way that she's attacked, she hasn't missed. She's been sensational. But let's do like we did in the first half. Sorry, in the first game.
By the way, as well.
What we want to do is put it out there to vote. So comment below wherever you're watching this. As I said numerous times, I'm sorry for keep repeating myself, but we have new people coming in to watch it every second. So hello, welcome. Who do you think is player of the match? Comment below. We can see it. If you do it at Live Sport now on YouTube in the chat section, we can show it on screen. There's a link in the body of this broadcast too. It'll take you straight through to our YouTube channel. Do hit subscribe as well. It does help us. We've got a lot of live handball to bring you throughout the course of the season. So far, this is the 4th game we've brought you live. We're going to bring you a total of 18 this season. How good is that? Roughly 2 a month or so. You know, we'll see how it goes. We're back live next Sunday as well for the Handball Hits show from 8 o'clock. And in the week after, we're probably going to be heading to Cambridge to bring you some more men's and women's Southern Premier League action, just like we did last month. Right, Hooter is going. He should be back on the court now, but referee's looking at his watch. Look, you don't want to fall foul of the referee, do you?
No, but equally teams always try and push their luck with these times out. It should be 60 seconds. It always goes to about 70 or 80. As the teams get back out on court, 29-16, like we've already mentioned. And I said 35 to Hawks. I think Liverpool are going to have to shut up shop a little bit in their defence, or continue to defend quite hard to try and get that scoreline out of them. But to be fair, as I said, they've already done better than they did in the first half. They've brought the game to Hawks a little bit more, maybe slightly more what we were expecting, even with the players being missing. As Paige Schofield misses from that 5-1, opens up the spaces. Liverpool absolutely exploit it to perfection as well. Emily Daly with that line movement. And that just goes to show the sort of high-risk, high-reward scenarios of a 5-1 or a 4-2 defence.
Yeah, apologies. Their scoreboard was a bit late to change at that break. It was actually 29 Hawks, Liverpool 17. So it remains a 12-point game. But Liverpool have now scored more goals in the second half than they managed in the first, and we've still got 10 minutes to go. Just goes to show they have played a lot better, haven't they? And shown one of the reasons why they are top of the table, but missing big players. Shouts of disbelief from the crowd, it seems here.
It's because the ball was out of play before the foul was made, and yet they've given the foul. So, yeah, that one works in Hawks' favour. Probably doesn't quite make up for the red card, but there we go. Well, from their perspective anyway. But Hawks keep hold of the ball. Trying some trigger movements here with the line player. As the passive play goes up, Becky Barnes rides 1 tackle, rides 2, tries to get the shot away as the foul gets given. So that's a good thing about handball, really. You can sort of ride the tackles. The referees do tend to come back or allow the play to continue until absolutely needs be. Good line play by Beth Wilbraham.
She was there. There was no mucking around there. Look at that, quick to the reaction. And Hawks go to 30.
Yeah, so for my prediction, what did I say? I said 35-20 at half-time, didn't I? That might not be too far away. Big hit there by Marta.
Yeah. 10 minutes to go, you know, it could be on for it.
It'll be closer than my prediction for the men's game, I think, that's for sure. I was well off with that by about 30 goals. But I have to say, I've been much more impressed with Liverpool in the second half. I don't think they've tried too much different. They've moved a few of the players around, but they're just the intensity is just so much more what we came to expect. And I think I said it within 4 minutes, or within 3 minutes, they've made 4 technical errors. And as soon as that happens, your head goes down. You get fast breaks on. Is not the correct way of saying it, I'm sure, but you get a couple of fast breaks against you, and your head goes down even further, and you could just tell that there was no coming back from that before half-time. Oh, that looked like a travel to me.
Oh,
and it was a travel indeed,
good call, Jack.
with
Good call.
plenty of space. But that's why I was surprised at half-time, about 10-15 minutes in, that Liverpool didn't call a timeout, because you could tell they needed to reset. They needed to get that energy back up and try and get some confidence. Emily Daly free on the line there. Again, Hawks very open with their defence. They're trying to be so aggressive.
Yeah, Liverpool looking to push on. Can they get to that 20, that golden 20 that you predicted, Jack? There's no prize for getting it right, but...
Hey, well, I was thinking I was getting a bag of crisps.
Oh, OK, I'll get you a bag of crisps. I can stretch to that, and there you go, to 18.
Emily Daly with another goal. Again, there seems to be lots of space for her on the line now. It's almost as if Hawks just seem to have slowed down their intensity in defence. Becky Barnes 3 steps and up, can't let her do that, but a good save by Kempster. Ball wasn't on the ground when it was picked up from the right wing. Dibden takes the shot, and it's going to be a penalty.
The ball went to Sophie Unsworth, who of course got sent off in that game, and she patted it away. She just ran interested, bless her.
Oh, this is what I should have told her off and touched her, to be honest.
She get a double red card.
Yeah, Sarah Carrick then on the penalty. She's had them all day, and this is the
a
first
save.
one she's missed. But if he didn't miss it, let's give credit to Hannah Kempster in goal for Liverpool. And just like Sophie actually said when she came over and had a chat to us, she's come in and done a hell of a job in the Liverpool net, hasn't she?
Absolutely. It remains Hawks 30, Liverpool 18 in this top of the table clash in the Women's Northern Premier League. Cut out again by Hawks. That was we saw a lot of those in the first half, which allowed Hawks to race into a lead, which they've never ever looked like surrendering really, and they still don't. And it goes, just hits the crossbar and over from Becky Barnes, the tallest player in both probably men's and women's teams, I think.
Well, she's, as I said, very strong, very powerful, and a hell of a player.
She's
when she gets
a fantastic
you can't let her
player.
get 3 steps. You let her get 3 steps and jump, then, I mean, 9 times out of 10 from what I've seen of her over the past 10 years, the ball ends up in the net. I'd say she's probably going to walk off the court slightly disappointed that she hasn't scored 5 or 6 more, to be honest. But as I said, Liverpool have the aggression that they're showing now. I think Hawks finally in the second half are actually starting to match it. Which they were the ones with the ascendancy in the second half. They were setting the pace, but this time Liverpool have really turned it around. Hawks have struggled slightly.
Oh, it's a
the ball
long
gets
ball.
launched forward
Not this
and straight into the hands of Kempster.
Well, we've had some comments coming in. Rose has been commenting. Rose, thank you very much for comments, by the way, and getting involved. This is your show, everybody watching, by the way. This is the beauty of doing it across social media, because we can actually engage with you and react with you, whereas you can't do that with TV. She says we could always come to Nottingham. Just to make it clear, like I said, we are broadcasting the Men's and Women's Premier Handball League throughout the course of the season, 18 games in total. The intention, the best will in the world, is to broadcast every team at least once. That is the intention, hence the reason here. We've not covered either of these 2 teams yet. Now we have, of course. So yes, when we come back for the Northern Premier League, the idea is to cover Nottingham at some point this season. So yeah, if you are a fan of handball, but not one of these 2 teams, a different team in either the Men's or Women's Premier Handball League, Northern or Southern, the intention is that your team will be broadcast live this season.
Good play there from Liverpool. It was good use of the line player, to be honest, blocking off that number 2 defender, which is the left-back defender from Hawks' perspective, giving a big gap and then creating almost a 3-on-1 for Liverpool, and Rebecca managed to exploit that perfectly as Hawks try and force the ball over to the line. In this game, in this situation, Ian, there's no real need for Hawks to worry about the game, but there's always perfectionist amongst us. Rebecca again, that right-hand side of the left-hand side of the Hawks defence just seems to be a little slow in getting over there, and that's where Liverpool are finding some chances now.
Well,
some joy.
Jack, we've got 5 minutes to go. If it ends now, you get a bag of crisps. If Liverpool score, well, I'll get you a bag of crisps if it stays.
Is that worth a bag of crisps?
If you get either team score bang on, I'll get you a bag of crisps.
Oh, okay.
If it goes 35-20, you get 2 bags of crisps.
Oh, there we go.
I'll tell you what, I even throw a drink in too. How about that?
Meal deal.
I'll get meal deal, yeah.
I am blessed, aren't I?
Don't say we don't look after you.
Yeah, exactly. Oh dear me. But yeah, to be honest, I think I'm more likely to get the Hawks scoreline right this time, because
Oh, it's
One. We've got 4.5 minutes to go, but they've just made it 31, so I feel like they could get to 35. And 2, I feel like Liverpool are going to surpass the 20 mark. So which is much better than they did in the first half. I mean, they've already outscored themselves by 4 goals, and we've still got 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, they scored 12 in the second half, 8 in the first half, and defence has been better. They have put a better showing on in this second half, which, you know, you need to, if you have a bad first half and they're going to lose the game, you need to take something through into the next game, don't you? You need to end on a positive, and they're doing that.
Yeah, and again, that left-hand side of Hawks' defence is far too open for the line player. Emily Daly's getting lots of joy. More joy than a teammate right now, because that's the number 3 of Kirsta. I'm just going to keep with Kirsta in case I butcher the name.
No, say it. We do apologise. We don't want to insult you by getting it completely wrong, so we do apologise, but
I think next time we always ask the teams to send over their team sheets. Hawks and Liverpool have been brilliant today. They brought over a typed team sheet, which is always easier to read than a handwritten one. But maybe phonetic spellings as well would be probably where we go next time for it.
I just want to say a big thank you to Sue actually at NEM Hawks. She's helped me organise this whole thing. And a big thank you to Oldham Leisure Centre as well for looking after us too. Even last week they gave me the Wi-Fi codes and everything like that. So thank you to Oldham Leisure Centre. Thank you to Sue at the NEM Hawks as well. It's always makes our life a lot easier. And thank you to everybody watching as well. We are trying to make handball as big as it can be in this country. This is the top flight. This is the Women's Northern Premier League. We are live in Oldham, right here, right now. I can assure you, we're not in a studio. We're just literally down. Nice couple of chairs, aren't we, Jack? You know,
it's nice to have chairs.
It is nice to have chairs. First
Great
time
pass.
been able to sit down.
And there's a goal for the number 31 for Manchester Hawks. Elizabeth Jennings, I think potentially the first goal we've seen from Elizabeth today. I could be wrong with that. I seem to remember a few left-wing goals going in, but I'm not sure if it was scored by her.
I almost typed 333 into the box.
It's not that one-sided.
That would have been some score, wouldn't it? Hawks 33, Liverpool 22. We have just got, just over 2 minutes of this game to go.
Has the YouTube comments come up with any suggestions for players of the match, or are we going to have that responsibility? Normally we try and pass it on because we don't like the responsibility.
No, I think it's going to have to be us this time. I think we know who it is, though. Exactly.
First half performance alone, I think.
There she was on the ball just then as well.
Yeah, Paige Schofield, the defence for the 5-1. As an absolute rocket ship goes in, as I was looking at my notes.
It actually bounced off the post and off the back of the keeper, unfortunately. And in it goes. But yes, I think it is.
Paige Schofield from that 5-1, that point defence, plenty of interceptions, really aggressive, kept the backcourt of Liverpool relatively quiet, and then those fast breaks. I mean, some people might say that scoring a fast break is a fairly easy job, but at the end of the day, it's key component to how Hawks play, and she's perfected it. And as Sophie said, she's always reliable on those fast breaks, and we can see why.
Yeah, we can. Confirmation, your player of the match, Paige Schofield for NEM Hawks. Congratulations, number 12. You don't win anything, actually.
Not even a packet of crisps. These are athletes, can't
but just being player of the match is good enough. There you go. Congratulations, player of the match, Paige Schofield. Let's get back into the action, shall we? The last minute of play here. And as you can see on your screen, Liverpool do get another one back.
Yeah, it's slightly odd, isn't it, really? The Hawks' intensity in attack hasn't let up, but their intensity in getting back to defence hasn't quite been on top form as it was in the first half. And I have to say, if we're basing it just on the second half, Emily Daly scored a hatful from that right-hand side. You sort of feel like the game's gone already. Big defence on Becky Barnzo, a hand in the face and the neck and everything else to try and stop her. She just gets the standard foul.
Yeah, and a few words between both players as well, saying she got her in the neck. Here is Barnes again.
Oh, trying to get the ball to the line. Beth Wilbraham, but it's turned over. Here goes Tobecca on the break. Moves it to the left. I believe that was Alicia, number 3. And here we go. We get a second opportunity to see an on-the-buzzer free throw, which... a lot of time in the scorelines like this, it's not worth risking an injury, to be honest. So a lot of people just put the ball down and roll it away. But
How coincidental is that, though? We see it once again.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we've seen. The ball just gets dropped. There's no real reason to take it. And yeah, the game finishes 34 to Hawks, 23 to Liverpool. Much better second half, I have to say, Ian.
Yeah, it certainly was, actually, wasn't it? They only scored 8 in the first half, Liverpool, but really came back in that second half. 11-score game in the end, but Hawks will be delighted. Run a real statement of intent. We know Liverpool are missing a couple of their key players, but I think they'll be delighted with that, the Hawks.
Yes, and it's an unbeaten run that continues for the North East Manchester Hawks, of course, who will, off the top of my head, go top of the table potentially. No, actually, I think Liverpool will stay there.
Liverpool will
get
stay
a point
there because they played a game more and they get a point. So,
yeah, so if anybody wondering how the point system works in handball, it's slightly different to, say, football. You get 3 points for a win, 2 points for a draw, and 1 point for a loss. So if you play 8 games in a season, you get 8 points, even if you lose every single one of them. So when you see the results being put out on Twitter and you see the tables on the Handball Hit Show in a week's time and stuff like that, then that's you can understand why you see people with 2 losses, they still have 2 points.
Jack, I think very shortly, would you like to go? I mean, I only push you out there because I know you know the players better than I do. So,
I will go and have
to be fair, you're far better looking than me anyway, so nobody wants to see me.
Both of those are true.
We'll just let the coaches have a chat.
Yeah, absolutely. I went over a little bit prematurely
that.
before, didn't we? So that's why I thought I'd stay seated for the time being. But yes, we'll go and have a chat to both coaches, Andy Fleming and Donna Hankinson, and then of course our player of the match, which was Paige Schofield, for that impressive, more than anything, for the impressive first half performance. But even in that second half, she was still put on that point defence in 5-1. And I have to say, Ian, I know you haven't played the sport that much, it is a tiring job to stay there. You're constantly 3 or 4 yards back and forwards, reading the game, having to swap from one side to the other in terms of how your vision and everything like that. You have to be so aware, and every single person who comes within about 5 metres of you, you have to go out and hit them hard, while also trying to intercept the ball and everything like that. So it's it sounds like I'm making a big thing of it, but it actually is a really difficult job, that 5-1.
It's safe to say they've certainly put a shift in. Right, Jack, I'll let you go, see if you can grab the Liverpool players and coach.
Yeah, so I'm going to try as they applaud the travelling supporters out, which they have come out in force as well, actually. I'm going to try and grab a word with the coach, Andy Fleming. Andy, who I've spoken to one or two when I was chairman of the Leeds Becker Handball Club. I don't think I've spoken to him any time recently. Andy, a quick chat if that's okay. A good game. It was a better second half for you than the first half, let's put it that way.
Yeah, we didn't start very well at all in the first half. Don't know why, but yeah, better second half. It was our challenge at half time to come out and show what we are about. We never really play like that in the first half, so it was more of what we are in the second half. So only losing by 1 goal, very disappointing with the game overall, but a better second half.
What was the cause of that first half, do you think? Because obviously there was a little bit of a confidence shaker. I think the first 3 minutes we saw 4 technical turnovers, just drop balls and everything like that. Was that? Could you put that down to anything, or is it just unlucky?
I think a few of the girls, a lot of the time now, we don't train with tack in our hull, so I don't know whether the girls were getting used to using tack again. Well, as you say, out of the first 6 attacks, we turned the ball over in 4 of them, and then just individually in the defence, we just didn't play as a unit in the defence. But apart from that, really calm. You know, we are missing a few players today, so we were a bit under strength. So yeah, but just everyone admitted at half time, which was good, that we could have done better.
I was going to say, I think a few of those players were actually watching the live stream. I think Laura Black commented on it and everything like that. Was that a bit of, did you know that was sort of always going to be the case for this game, or was it a bit of late dropouts or anything like that? Was that sort of affected the plan and training leading up to it?
Well, yeah, I mean, we knew we were going to be a bit short, but you know, and Hawks are a really good team, and they've played together for a long time, and I knew it was going to be a good team. But what I wanted to do was, we all wanted to give them a game. I don't think we did that in the first half, but we definitely did in the second half.
Yeah, well, congratulations on the second half. It was an unfortunate defeat, but hopefully we'll see you later on in the season. Well done on the game. Brilliant, that was Liverpool's perspective. Now, we've already spoken to Donna once today, but I'm going to get her opinion on this game as well. Donna, a quick chat.
Red card?
We've already spoken about the red card. Sophie came and did a nice interview. That was as politically as correct as she could probably do.
If it was a red card, I'm a supermodel, that's all I'm saying. Okay, I will swiftly move. I think that's all the opinion we probably get for that one. Yeah. In terms of the game, though, I mean, you had a game plan that was obvious, and it was played to perfection in that first half.
First half, I think that's probably, considering what I was saying before about the players we've lost from last season, I think that's possibly the best we've played for a long time. I thought Paige playing at right back, which isn't her position, was outstanding in the first half. And just the pace, I think we played real nice, kept a nice pace in the game. Defensively in the first half, not so much the second, we were strong. And considering really we don't play with fast break passes out from the goalkeeper, I think second wave we were strong. And I think we're still going to be, you know, if we can keep everybody fit, everybody not getting red cards, not that you know, has hurt, but you get my drift. I think we can challenge a lot of teams again this season. Really, really pleased with the performance from all the girls.
I was going to say the defence was very aggressive. You could tell that Paige had, who got our player of the match, by the way, so I'm hoping she doesn't run away anyway. You could tell that there was a game plan there, wasn't it? It's Sophie to try and be aggressive on that right back, and Paige to get gone as soon as possible.
How good the right back is, and she's important to the way that they play. And we toyed with the idea of marking her out, but to me, I don't think if a team is so reliant on one player, you don't often need to take that player out of the game. Thought their playmaker was strong off the ball as well, but you know, that's our preferred defence really now. 3-2-1, 3-3, being really aggressive, putting teams under pressure. It suits our style of play really.
Well, it worked down to a T today. Congratulations on not only the men's win, but also the women's win as well today. Cheers, Donna. Right, can you also point me in the direction of if Paige has stuck around at all? Because everybody seems to have run off. Right, I'm going to try and get a quick word with Paige as she packs a bag up. Luckily, she's one of the few people that hasn't run away from me instantly. Paige, can we have a quick chat? It is Paige, isn't it? The reason why we want a quick chat is player of the match today. A fantastic defensive display, and obviously on that transition, you were deadly.
Thank you. I don't really know.
I was going to say, well, talk us through sort of the game plan. We've spoken to Donna about it, the fact that you're very aggressive on the defence and those turnovers. You scored loads of goals, and that really helped in the first half, demoralised Liverpool.
I think that is our aim of the game. Every game we come and we play for speed, and a lot of teams, I was going to say, as you can tell, but actually they kept up really well. We just like to run and run and run. Me being the one that does the running. But yeah, we don't usually play for set plays, even though we do have them in the bag when we need to. But yeah, our aim of the game is to run, tire them out, and then go from there. Just keep running.
It's been the Hawks' way since day dot. Trust me, it's always brutal to play against. In terms of the sort of set play, like you said, Donna was saying that you don't normally play right back, yet you had to fill in there today. How was that for you?
So our right back has actually moved away, so she's gone to play somewhere else. And as a right-handed player, it's tough, but it's not too bad. I listen when we go to trainings. I like to listen to what every other position does, and therefore I think you can throw me in any position, and I think I'd play it to the best of my ability. May not be great, but
it worked today, that's for sure.
So I think I have stepped up quite well and stepped into that position, and I think we actually gelled quite well. We didn't really know how well it was going to go down, but actually I think we've gelled into it quite nicely. So I'm surprised you'll see me there more often, I'm guessing. Yeah. I was
going to say, with performances like that, you're going to be hard pushed to get away from the right back position, I think. So congratulations on the player of the match and the winners' course as well. It's all right. Right, I'm going to pass back to Ian now, but a brilliant chat with a few of those people, and as you can see, everybody seems to be going home. It's probably about that time we do as well, Ian.
Thank you very much, Jack. Great interviews there. As you can see, a hive of activity still here at Oldham Leisure Centre. That does just about round it up for us. Just let you know what's coming up, though, next for us on Sunday, the 27th. We've got a Handball Hits show for you. You can watch that live. Think match of the day in football, and you've got Handball Hits. It's going to be an action-packed hour show. You can watch highlights from this game as well, and so much more. Well, what a day it has been here for the NEM Hawks. Winner in both the men's and women's Premier Handball League matches against Liverpool. Well, great performances by everyone, though, and congratulations to all of the players. Don't forget, make sure you do hit subscribe to Live Sport Now on YouTube to watch even more live handball, and of course across the England Handball Association channels as well. And Jack, so you're back with me again. Thank you as well for the day. We really appreciate you joining us on commentary. Always helps. always makes my life a lot easier as well. It means I don't have to run out and about.
It's okay, it's been an absolute pleasure. It's always thoroughly enjoyable to be here watching handball and everything. And as you know, it was when I got into commentary for motorsport, it was always an ambition that we could cover the handball at some point as well, and it's brilliant to have so many people engaging with us.
Yeah, it certainly is. Thank you to everybody for watching as well. We really, really do appreciate it. Don't forget, if you do want to find out more about England handball, there is a link in the body of this broadcast. It will take you straight through to the England handball website. So from me and Jack Oliphant.